Hey, what's up, everyone? There is one thing that Bofuri really needs to work on. I mean, it is a really good anime, and it actually does really well in different avenues, but there's one thing that it really needs some work on. So anyway, we just got done watching episodes 4 and 5 of season 2. Kind of catching up because my computer bricked last week, so I apologize for that. But if you're watching this video, one thing about Bofuri is it does very well in the boss fights, whether it was the events or any of the bosses that they actually do. It actually is really cool in the aspects of, okay, if they're fighting a boss fight that is essentially just they're going to blow straight through them, then they're going to show that. They're going to crush them, do some craziness, and then make the GM sit there and like, oh my lord, we thought we had something good here. While, if there's a real struggle, they really are going to fight through these boss fights, really think it through. And another thing that Bofuri does is they have a good, I'll just leave it like this, they have really good storytelling. The aspect of them weaving in the different parties, like in episode 5, the different teammates and people of Maple Tree going against different bosses, going to get their different things, trying to get their own pets. You didn't feel like, oh my god, everything's happening at once, I don't know what's going on. You would track all the different characters. The two girls are trying to get the bears, the samurai girl's trying to get the, her own pet, going down this path. It's like, oh, this is a quest line that wasn't there before. And then Maple just kind of getting taken to the bottom of the seafloor, and which came out the blue. A lot of times, in different anime, they may just follow one character all the way to completion. But no, they showed how the girls were struggling against these bosses, and then it would jump from one fight into the next one, and it didn't really make me feel like, oh my god, what's happening here? It's like, okay, she lost her battle, okay, learn from it. How's she gonna learn from it? And they go again, and they go again. So it was actually really good, and the fact that all right, we lost, is a good lesson in it. We lost, learn from it, and how do we succeed and overcome it? Really good job in episode 5 showing that. And of course, Maple just straight up like doing her own thing, just eat the octopus, and then now she has tentacles and such. I digress. One thing that this anime really needs to work on is I don't know how to feel as the viewer and what is happening or relating. So what I mean by that is we really need health indicators. If they had health indicators kind of like SAO, for those that, if you haven't seen it, and Sword Art Online, they're trapped in the game. If they die in real life. So, of course, they gave you that tension of, oh man, they're in this battle, the health is going lower and lower, and oh man, they have a sliver left, are they going to live or die? Well, that was very important for that anime, but in this one, it would be very helpful if they did the same thing. For example, they were concluding the boss rushes and all the event and the bosses and the different levels. Well, they have basically been storming through the whole thing and doing very well, defeating all the different bosses. But how is I, the viewer, going to know how close Maple is to death? Like, they showed the inflection of like whenever they get hit and they're like, oh, that hurt, oh, I need to heal, stuff like that. But without having a health bar, I don't know how close Maple is to dying. Or, oh man, Maple has such high defenses, what if something hits her, it doesn't take a whole lot, or what does take a whole lot. Or even Sally, when she's fighting in there, it's like, okay, she's going around trying to attack the boss, and we can see some indicators of the boss's health going lower. We don't know for sure. All kinds of little things, informational cues like that will actually help us out more so than what they've been doing, which is, okay, they've been, whatever they're hitting the boss, they straight up like, oh, that looks like that hurt the boss a lot. So I as a viewer, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that hurt the boss. So does the boss go through another phase? Like, does it do a new movement? It's like, oh, it must be entering phase 2, phase 3. But if they had the little health pool of some sort, whether it's the characters, the bosses, enemies, so we can kind of see, oh man, this boss is barely even doing anything to Maple, she's so strong. Or, oh man, Maple's so close to dying. Is this going to be the time that Maple dies due to some attack from something? You know, little things like that, I think would actually benefit this anime a lot more. Now, granted, you know, what we have is not bad per se, but whenever I'm looking at the boss fights, it really just dawned on me. Like, I'm looking at this boss fight of all the different bosses they were fighting as they're going through the levels, and I'm just sitting here like, oh man, you know, the moves and skills that Sally, Maple are doing are really cool. They're awesome. But I would be more engaged and the tension if I knew, oh man, that boss hit Maple really hard. She's about to die. What are they going to do to overcome that? And I believe it would actually bring more tension and actually bring more people to enjoy the anime even more so. But that's my opinion on that. Otherwise, the episodes are actually really good. They found a new area, which because of how big and open the area is, I would not be surprised if this area ends up being what the rest of the season is going to be in. And then, of course, it wouldn't surprise me if the end of the season ends up being the next event and or the final boss for that level. And then that'll be it for that season and maybe a season 3. Don't know. But that's my hypothesis on that, and that's basically what I think that Bofuri will be really good if they worked on that. Aside from that, you guys take care, have a good one, make sure you subscribe and like the video, and I hope you learned something here. Be safe, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.